we didn't have a community back in my generation.
Right.
There was no role models for us to go. I don't remember in my community or in my time ever having a role model who was gay. I don't remember one.
Right.
Now people have a community. And I think it's interesting because we hear all these stories about, oh, when did he come out or when did she come out? But we don't ask that to a heterosexual person. When did you come out as heterosexual? Because it's accepted as the norm. How many people lose their families when they come out as heterosexual?
People did, and people do.
Yeah, and so it's that judgment part that to me is just not fair. It's inhuman. There's so much judgment in the world nowadays. None of us have any business judging another person. That's not their decision. It's our decision to do what we need to be our authentic selves. But we need someone not to judge us because of our life, because they haven't lived our life.
Right. And I think that's another important reason for these stories. And that is, yes, the next generation can understand how things used to be and view things from a different perspective. But also, there's still men and women out there who are still forced into the closet because of their situation, whether it's an oppressive household or just a tiny little community and they feel isolated and alone. And these stories also serve as a message that it's better at the end of the journey. It's better when you come out and you get a chance to live as your authentic life. Maybe somebody has to make a difficult decision to leave their small town to get there. But there is a community there for them. There is that weight off your shoulder, that sense of release, that peace you've never experienced before. So anybody who's watching these who feels stuck and lost, know that it does get better.
I think that's so true. Because sometimes we're in the process where we feel our life is unraveling. We don't feel a sense of peace. And I hope people's life didn't have to unravel like mine, but if it does, embrace the unraveling, because you're getting through, using your courage to get through get to your authentic self by facing the fear. And it always gets better. I've been doing podcasts now going on for 2 years, and I've interviewed a lot of people that went through tremendous amount of struggles. And I always ask them at the end, are you at peace? And are you happy with your life now? Universally, they said, yes, I'm more at peace and I'm more happy. Even though they went through struggles, some of them lost mates, some of them lost their children, some of them lost all of their family and friends, but it was worth them.
And the other thing I wanted to pick up on is the coming out process that heterosexual people don't need to go through. And universally, with everyone you've interviewed and you've asked, is the coming out process, it is not an isolated event. It's a lifelong event.
Awesome.
It goes on. And an example of that is last Wednesday, we were at pickleball, met some new people, and they asked, how are you two related, or do you know each other? And in a tiny little way, I had to come out to that individual. I mean, I didn't hesitate. About saying he's my partner, but I had to think about, if I say he's my partner, is this person going to still want to play pickleball with me? And that's just an experience that never ends. It's never ending, because the assumption is that heterosexuality is the norm. And so everyone assumes, and a lot of our heterosexual allies make the assumption that people are straight when they first meet them, and that's fair because the majority of people are. But because of that, the coming out process is a lifelong thing. But there is usually one big moment where you tell that significant person that's going to prove to either be a really positive or difficult experience. But after that, it goes on forever. It doesn't end. So.
And I think what's interesting, I think when I introduced John as my partner, many times the first thing they go to, well, he's your business partner.
Yeah, what's your business? What's your company?
And so that I say, no, he's my partner. And then they kind of look, I said, no, we're partners in a relationship.
Yeah.
Then they get it, because automatically people assume when you say partner, they think of a business partner, okay? And that again gets back to how society has defined what a partner is.
But and in fairness, I've had heterosexuals, I've had straight people talk about their partner, and I make the assumption when they say that they're gay, only to find out that their partner is the opposite gender. So when I hear partner, I make an assumption
I do
that
too,
it's a gay relationship.
Yeah.
So but I'm good at saying, well, what does your partner do? And then usually you get the pronoun associated with it, so you can figure out whether your assumption was right or not.
Mm-hmm.